Hey everybody, I'm Ethan and welcome to the Solutions Architect channel. One of the things that we do as SAs is provide LOEs. Generally speaking, you're able to conduct discovery sessions that in turn help you create those LOEs. However, you don't always have the luxury of being able to go back and forth with the customer on those types of discovery calls, especially when you're trying to sell your solution to a prospective customer that may or may not need your solution. This happened to me recently, so I thought I would share my experience with you guys. So how did I approach this particular LOE? Well, have you heard of former United States Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld? He said something that I thought was really smart and very applicable to creating an LOE. With regards to the lack of evidence linking the government of Iraq with the supply of weapons of mass destruction, Donald Rumsfeld said, "Reports that say something hasn't happened are always interesting to me, because as we know, there are known knowns. There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, there are things we know we don't know. But there are also unknown unknowns, the ones we don't know about. And if one looks throughout the history of our country and other free countries, it is the latter that tend to be the difficult ones." So with this approach in mind, this is what I did. I thought about, what do I know about the customer and what don't I know about the customer? Things like what their architecture is like, what is their middleware like, what are their pain points and challenges that they're facing, and ultimately, how will we solve their problem and add value? I then divided everything I knew into 3 categories. Things I knew with absolute certainty, known knowns. Things I knew were definitely things to consider, but I didn't quite know what their full scope was, the known unknowns. And then things that I really didn't have the foggiest idea about, unknown unknowns. Then when I created my LOE, I made sure to add the appropriate caveats and factor in the associated risks. And so within my LOE, I broke out my caveats into those categories, so that whenever my quote was reviewed, no matter who it was that was looking at it, they would understand why it was significantly higher than it should have been. So here are just some questions that you can use to help create your own LOE using this method. Within the category of known knowns, does the customer actually need your solution? I know this might sound obvious, but there's a difference between selling a customer solution that you know they need versus selling the customer a solution that, like a cold sell, that you don't necessarily know if they need your solution or not. What type of solution are you offering? Is the customer you're selling to already integrated with your product? What are the requirements you actually know about? Then within the category of known unknowns, is the solution that you're offering a standard solution that you would offer to any customer? Like, is it a SaaS product, or are we talking about a professional services custom engagement that you're creating a custom product for them? How willing of an integration partner do you have in the customer? What level of resources is the customer going to be dedicating to the project? What are the political waters like at the customer? Will the customer need to do any type of migration work? How much travel will be required as part of this project? What type of cross-functional resources are you going to need? What type of traffic and scaling is going to be required? And then we have the category of unknown unknowns. What type of security requirements do you think the customer might impose on you? If you're talking about a potential Fortune 100 or 500 company, there might be certain security requirements that maybe a startup or a mid-sized company might not necessarily have. What scope of the project are you potentially completely unaware of? Could the customer impose custom architecture requirements on you? Again, if this is a Fortune 100 or 500 company, it might be different to a small mom and pop shop. Are there other vendors you might have to work with as part of the solution? Are those other vendors potentially competitors of yours? So in conclusion, while sometimes it's just necessary to provide these kinds of vague high-level LOEs, as an SA, it's not only your job but your responsibility to protect the business from technical unknowns that could put your business at risk by potentially overcommitting to a project. My pick for this video is a book called The Goal by Eliyahu Goldratt. It's a fantastic book about something called the theory of constraints. It's primarily about lean manufacturing, but it's really applicable to any type of business, even IT. I'll link to the book in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and smash that like button! It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and I just love saying that. And if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications when I create a new video. And if you think this video is valuable and can be useful to someone that you know, please go ahead and share this video on your social media. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.